Robert Gibbs is an MSNBC contributor, and he was President Obama's first White House press secretary. Robert, it's great to see you. And
hey,
if you were advising Hillary Clinton right now, how would you advise her to address these attacks? Would you say they need to be addressed, or don't give them any oxygen?
Well, look, I think obviously they're going to have to be addressed at some point, but I also agree that right now there isn't as much of a huge controversy or anything around this. There's certainly going to be some questions, but there are questions that they have time to answer. It's not as if, this is a story that's on the tips of everybody's tongue. The book is out there, but I think there's a lot of innuendo. The question is there quid and is there quo? And I think those are not necessarily things that we know the answer to or need to know the answer to right now. So I think what she's doing is smart. She's focusing on rolling out her campaign and getting good local press and away from the attacks.
Well, it's very early in the rollout. She is the only runner on the Democratic side, while the right is definitely muddied with a lot of different people out there interested in being her challenger. But Think Progress, typically a politically liberal news outlet, they've seen the book. One of the descriptions in there, Robert, about a Clinton Foundation donor says the London Group is a mining, oil, and gas company that was investigated for war crimes in Sudan and reportedly reaped massive profits in the war-torn Democratic Republic of Congo. London committed $100 million to the Clinton Foundation shortly after Hillary announced her presidential candidacy in 2007. Author Peter Schweitzer points to an 2006 law co-sponsored by Clinton and Obama, which gave the Secretary of State powers to hold destabilizing forces in the Congo accountable. And he notes that Clinton declined to employ those powers after London's donation. So do you think that she's ever going to address these pay-for-play allegations more forcefully, straight on?
Well, I think at some point, likely the campaign will first have to answer these things if they get into the realm of something that I think is on, a lot of people's minds or on reporters' minds. What we don't know, again, from what you just read is we know we have this, innuendo that there was a donation, and we have this idea that there weren't powers that were exercised. The question is, was it related to that donation? I don't think one side has necessarily proven that to be the case, and I think the other side has not necessarily taken the time to answer it. Again, I think this will certainly all have to come out because Republicans are going to try to make this a big deal.
Right, but if perception is reality, how does Hillary Clinton prove that she isn't above oversight? Because it seems with the email controversy or with the Clinton Foundation that she gets to make her calls on her own time in her own way.
Well, I don't think that will be the case in this instance. I mean, the story that was in the New York Times yesterday mentioned that the New York Times and the Washington Post, along with Fox News, have entered into agreements with this author to use some of their research. The Times, the Times story talked about wasn't glowing, but it certainly wasn't disparaging of the author. So it's clear that they've put some time and interest into what he has written, and the foundation obviously is a set of legitimate questions that ultimately are going to have to be dealt with. I just don't know that they have to be put away or dealt with today. I think what Hillary Clinton is trying to do is just slowly and methodically roll out her campaign, and that's what they're focused on.
Slow and steady. Former White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs. Robert, great to see you. Thanks so much.